What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. Welcome back to Road Signs, and it is not a review. No, not tonight. Tonight it is fantasy booking time. Tonight is a combination of two theories that I was going to put together, that I was going to do in two separate videos. What this is the top 5 people that I hope win the Royal Rumble legitimately on Sunday, combined with, if they did win the Rumble, this is how I would have fantasy booked it. So we're gonna kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna go through the 5 people that I want to win the Royal Rumble, and as we go, I'm going to say how I would have fantasy booked it. Maybe going back a few weeks before the Rumble. Maybe it's a little late to be doing this now, but it ultimately leads up to what I want the title match to be at WrestleMania, and if I waited until after the Royal Rumble, it would be kind of a moot point, would it not? Okay, no more rambling, no more killing time, no more rambling on about stuff that you guys don't care about. You guys know the Wrestling Realm is down there in the box below if you want to join, if you're on Facebook, whatever. Also join the WrestleManiacs. I think I put the link down there. I'm not quite sure. Thank you all for responding to the Q&A. I've got 40-something questions. That'll be going up Saturday. And here we go. Number 5, Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler's kind of fallen off the face of the earth because he's had another concussion. The world knows this. Even though they haven't paid any attention to this on Raw, the world knows this. And if he was going to be at the Rumble, here is how I would have played this out. I would have had them pay ridiculous attention to him and his recovery from the concussion, like they do when John Cena gets an injury. Let's be real. I would have had Ziggler say, "Oh, I've lost my chance to be in the title picture at WrestleMania, but I'm going to be better by WrestleMania." And I would just have him do a short from-home video each week. "Hey guys, this is how I'm doing today. This is how I'm doing today." We would get to the Rumble, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be watching the Rumble real closely, won't you? Watch the show, tweet along with me," or something along those lines. I'd have them make it look like he's just going to be, you know, maybe on the experts panel on the pre-show, or maybe he's going to be tweeting along with the show and encouraging people to get involved in Twitter or the app, or whatever. Make him think that he's going to be in some mundane role like that, and then have him come in as the surprise number 30. Whittle the Royal Rumble down to 2 other people that would make us absolutely groan. Whittle the Royal Rumble down to like Sheamus and Rey Mysterio, 2 guys that we don't want to win in a million years. Have them brawling, Ziggler comes out at number 30, rocker dropper for one of them, zigzag for the other one. They're out. He's your winner. He's the show off. Comes out on Monday Night Raw, cuts a promo about being the show off, cuts a promo thanking the fans, you know, baby facing it up super hard. I'm going to show off. I'm going to show off for each and every last one of you that believes in me, and I'm going to show off for each and every last one of you that never believed in me and thought I was gone. Orton would win the championship at the Royal Rumble. Orton would come out and cut a promo on Dolph Ziggler. "Hey, you know you're not in my league. We've fought a bunch of times and we all know how it's ended. Where have you been for the past little while? What have you done to even earn your spot in the Rumble, let alone at WrestleMania? You were number 30. You had it easy. You only eliminated 2 guys. You've got a lot to prove," more or less. I would have Ziggler then say, "Yes, I do have a lot to prove, but I don't have anything to prove to you, Randy Orton. I've got something to prove to myself. I've got something to prove to the WWE and everybody in that locker room, and I've got something to prove to all the WWE universe." So what I'm going to do, and I would even have him give Ric Flair the credit here, I'm going to do what Ric Flair did. I'm going to put it up every single night from now until WrestleMania. My WrestleMania title shot is up for grabs in every match I have. If anybody, be it Raw, be it SmackDown, be it Superstars, NXT, pay-per-view, or in the parking lot, if anybody beats me in any match that I am in between now and WrestleMania, they will get my title shot. And he would do it. And he would go off and he would have, you know, the typical Monday night matches. He would, you know, Fandango or Damian Sandow or whoever else they need to make look good, because Ziggler's still the bumping machine. It would culminate in the Dolph Ziggler Elimination Chamber Open Challenge. In other words, Dolph Ziggler's going to walk into the chamber and see what other 5 guys show up to join him. What I would do personally, and this is just off the top of my head, but I think would be a pretty damn good chamber for a non-title match. Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Kofi Kingston, Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. Have Ziggler win convincingly over those guys, maybe get a pat on the back from CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. If you want, go on to WrestleMania, have Ziggler versus Randy Orton. That's number 5. Number 4, and nobody's going to like the placement here, number 4 is Daniel Bryan. Yeah, I know, the internet, pfft, alive. Everybody hates me now, right? Daniel Bryan just got out of his thing with the Wyatts that could have lasted forever and ever and ever. So we go into Raw, or this would have had to have been a couple weeks ago if we were going to do it this way, but go into Raw and have it come out that when Bray Wyatt said, you know, the devil made me do it, the devil, I would have him come back out and say the devil comes in many forms, and one of those forms happens to be the guy that pays my check, and have it come out that indeed it was the Authority that sent Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family after Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan would refocus his anger back at Randy Orton where it belongs, back at Triple H where it belongs, back at the whole conglomerate of the Authority, and try to take out each one of their members one by one. And then Triple H, and this is overbooked to hell, I will freely admit this, I would have it that Triple H would say to Daniel Bryan, you know, Kane already made CM Punk number 1, so you're number 2. Not only would this give us 2 straight minutes of Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk, which would be fucking amazing and make both guys look fantastic. Entrant number 3, and these would all be set out by Triple H and the Authority, obviously. Entrant number 3 would be the entire Shield. And their sole job would be to go in there and beat down Daniel Bryan. And he would overcome. And other people would come, and every time Bryan overcomes, he would go back to his ongoing feud with CM Punk. That's what would tie this match together. They would team up, as other people have done in the past, they would team up to eliminate everybody else so that they could get back to getting to each other and proving who's really the best, which is ultimately what all the Daniel Bryan CM Punk matches are. At about entrant 10, we would have the entire Wyatt family with the same idea. Entrant 20 would be the new tag team champions, the New Age Outlaws, as a unit. Entrant number 25 or so would be Corporate Kane, and just to rub some salt in the wounds a little bit, I would have Corporate Kane come out in the suit and everything, but under the suit, I would have him wearing a Team Hell No shirt. Just as an extra, I'm going to really rub some salt in your wounds here, Daniel Bryan. I'm going to see if this hurts you. I'm going to play some mind games, etc. Entrant 29, as a last-stitch, desperate effort, would be Triple H himself, and Daniel Bryan, his final elimination for the entire Royal Rumble to win the Royal Rumble would be him eliminating Triple H, which would inspire a gigantic, you know, yes chance to end the show, Austin type moment. Chamber, I lost my place, guys. I lost my place. Chamber has a ridiculous match, a gauntlet match, that Triple H sets up, which is Daniel Bryan versus each and every member of the Authority, the Shield, the Wyatts, the New Age Outlaws, Triple H himself, Randy Orton, etc., 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 which, you know, obviously looks like it's going to devastate Daniel Bryan until there's an inspirational, you know, crowd builds up and the entire locker room finally floods out to stand up against the Authority, and Triple H and Randy Orton and the rest of the Authority lose when Randy Orton taps out to the Yes Lock. This leads to Randy Orton still being the champion because it was a multi-person match, blah, 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 and it wasn't for the title, but this would lead, this would be the catalyst to change the match at Royal Rumble to a submission match. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. That's number 4. Sorry. Number 3, and this is going to get me laughed at by a lot of people, is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Here's how we do this. Cody Rhodes and Goldust, as soon as they are in the Royal Rumble match together, they start brawling with each other, and the same thing I said about Punk and Bryan would happen in this situation as well. As people come in, the brothers would show how much great teamwork they have and get everybody out. Cody would be in the process of eliminating somebody. I'm just going to say Kofi Kingston for the hell of it, because Kofi Kingston, no. Just no. Kofi Kingston, if Kofi Kingston wins the Rumble, no. That's just a side note, but no. I want him to try and do one of his funky spots again this year and botch it like he's been botching the SOS the past 2 weeks on Raw. Just so I can laugh and just so I can say that's why he's not a world champion. Moving on. But Cody Rhodes would be in the process of eliminating Kofi Kingston, and Goldust would see that one little incident where he can get his revenge on his brother for the past couple years and try to eliminate Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes would pull a save yourself at the last second, sort of Shawn Michaels skin the cat kind of moment, and as soon as you see him safely back in the ring, he would turn, he would change. You would see the head kind of turn to the side a little bit. You would see a little bit of that demented, you know, dashing to deranged Cody Rhodes that we saw when he had the mask a couple years ago that everybody loved. And he would not only eliminate Goldust, but he would slip under the ropes to give Goldust the beating of his life. He would then go on to win the Royal Rumble match. I don't know who the last Final Four would be. It doesn't matter. He wins the match. That's what you need to know. It's announced to us the next night that Goldust is going to be in the hospital for an undetermined amount of time. He comes out and he cuts a promo, starting with his brother, but he cuts a promo on all the old tag team partners that used to mooch off of him. He would talk about Hardcore Holly. He would talk about Ted DiBiase Jr. He would talk about Damien Sandow. And he would talk about the current champion, Randy Orton. This would bring back the surprise return of Ted DiBiase, and we would have a series of matches with Ted DiBiase leading up to the go-home show to the Elimination Chamber, where Goldust would make his miraculous return, and he would challenge Cody to a match at the Elimination Chamber, but not just any match. We would go old school, and we would do the Hollywood Backlot Brawl. Oh, yes. Cody would win the Hollywood Backlot Brawl, obviously, and the next night on Raw, he would randomly attack Damien Sandow, cutting another promo on Damien Sandow specifically, saying, now that I have solidified myself as a legit #1 contender, I'm going to take out all my frustrations on the last person that cost me a #1 contendership. This would lead to a best-of-3 series between Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. Sandow would win one, Cody would win one, obviously. And he would win the third one, which would be in some kind of no disqualification rule, obviously. He would win the last one when Randy Orton comes out and RKO's... Okay, hold on. I lost my place again, guys. Orton would come out and try to make nice with Cody Rhodes by helping him win his match against Damien Sandow with an RKO. He would then try to trick him into an RKO himself. It would be countered into the Crossroads, and the last thing you would hear on the go-home show to WrestleMania would be all of the partners and all of the tag team mates and all the tag team championship mates that stole my spotlight and succeeded because of me. You were the worst, and Sunday I will legitimately take what's mine. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. It might not be the most popular choice, but for me it's number 3, not gonna lie. Number 2. I rewrote this a couple of times just to try, like, you guys know what my writing is like. Number 2 is Dean Ambrose. In a Royal Rumble promo, they would say something to the effect of, even in a 30-man match, the Shield still owns the yard. And in a hidden camera type spot where they think they're not being filmed anymore, he would be cutting a negative promo against the rest of the Shield, saying, I'm the one that needs to win this. I'm the only one in the Shield that's still a champion. I'm the one that has the best shot to beat anybody at WrestleMania. You guys need to protect me. The Shield does, in fact, protect Ambrose, even sacrificing themselves in the end to take out the last couple of competitors so that Dean Ambrose can get the win. Ambrose is now the #1 contender, but this only works if the Royal Rumble match is not the last match on the card, which I know people don't like, and I don't like it either, but it works. As soon as he wins the match, Renee Young, or somebody else with a microphone, but I'm hoping it's Renee Young just because she's hot, just saying, would go up into the ring, you know, how do you feel about winning the Royal Rumble match? And he would say, the night is not over yet. Tonight you will see a new member of the Shield. And he would laugh maniacally and go about his business. Cena Orton would get rebooked as a no disqualification match at the request of Randy Orton because he thinks that it's going to give him an advantage, and he would butter up Triple H and Stephanie, and they would make it a no disqualification match. When the match is almost over, out comes the Shield, and they beat down Randy Orton. And a very pissed off and confused John Cena takes the pin but doesn't like it and doesn't really know what's going on. The next couple of nights on Raw, every time Cena has a match, the Shield surrounds the ring. They don't attack him, though. They don't attack him. They attack a couple of his opponents. They follow him to Chamber where he looks like his title reign is in extreme peril. They break into the Elimination Chamber and clear house for him so that he still has the title. And on the last Raw before WrestleMania, after all this conspiracy, after all this making everybody think that Cena's the new member of the Shield, Ambrose cuts a promo. John Cena, it would be easy if I had just gotten my guys to beat you down night after night after night after night after night and make you limp and make you lame and make you half the man you are and just steal the belt from you at WrestleMania. But I don't want to do that. I want to take more than the title from you. I want to take what John Cena is from John Cena. So instead of taking away his body, instead of taking away his arms and legs and head and torso and blood and veins and guts and bones, I took away all of John Cena's excuses for when I beat him at WrestleMania. And while I was doing that, I also took away his respect. I took away the fans' respect. I took away the announcers' respect. I took away his respect from the boys in the back. So John Cena's got nobody left, and he's got no excuses when I walk out of WrestleMania as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Oh yes, tell me Dean Ambrose couldn't deliver that promo 20 million times better than me. The last one, I don't have a story for, because the last one makes the most sense. And I'm sorry for all the Daniel Bryan marks out there. CM Punk just makes sense. CM Punk is the one guy that makes sense no matter who the champion is at WrestleMania. Because, okay, people are saying Batista is going to win the title sometime between now and WrestleMania. It's not going to happen. But, I mean, Punk versus Batista, why not? It's something we haven't seen, and the fact that he was brought in by the Authority could be brought up, and it could, you know, loosely tie back to Triple H and whatever. But the four options we have really are Orton, Bryan, Lesnar, or Cena, because Bryan's not going to be in the Royal Rumble match, so if he picks up the title at all, it's going to be at Elimination Chamber. Punk versus Orton. We got two ways we can build this. We can build it straight up as Punk versus the Authority. We can build it up as, hey, Orton, remember last time, you know, you got a quick win on me at WrestleMania, and, you know, times have changed, things are different, I'm better, and I've seen the type of person you've become. Oh, and by the way, it'll also piss off Triple H. We could go that direction. Punk versus Bryan, you wouldn't even need to build a story around this. You know, Bryan would be all pissed off that he couldn't get into the Rumble match. He would wish Punk good luck. Bryan himself would... Okay, my chair just did something funny, guys. Bryan himself would manage to get himself into the Elimination Chamber, and Punk would wish him that same great luck. And it would be a very much look at us, we're the guys that were never supposed to make it, let's go out and have a hell of a match at WrestleMania. This is the one time that I think WWE would go back to the vaults and pull out like the old ROH footage or the old indie footage and make that part of the build just to show how well these guys know each other. And it would be a WrestleMania main event built on respect, which would drive especially the indie fans and especially the internet fans absolutely bonkers. Punk versus Lesnar. We reboot the Heyman storyline. We reboot all the great mic work between Paul Heyman and CM Punk. We reboot the fact that it would be a rematch from SummerSlam, which is one of, if not the best matches of 2013. Everybody wins. Lesnar's looking great. Heyman by his side is, you know, it's like milk and chocolate. And Punk and Lesnar just... Punk and Lesnar had one of those David and Goliath matches that didn't look like a David and Goliath match, so if you do that on a WrestleMania stage, then it just works. And lastly, Punk Cena. What can I really say? Punk Cena, I've said it a million times. I said it back in the summer of Punk. I said it when he left Chicago with the belt and, you know, kayfabe was never coming back, and I've said it ever since. Punk versus Cena is the most important rivalry in wrestling today. Whether it's happening right now, or whether it's existing in the background, whether they're fighting, or whether they're having that sort of mutual respect, but we can still kick the shit out of each other thing, it is the most important rivalry in recent wrestling history because it is the pinnacle of wrestling fans versus the WWE. They have great matches, and I will say, Cena has his part in that. CM Punk makes Cena watchable. CM Punk makes a Cena match something I want to see. They have a great feud, and there's no match, realistically speaking, especially for people like us here in the YWC, in the IWC, the ones that are tweeting, the ones that are Facebooking, the ones that downloaded the app, the ones that are on Tout, the ones that are on Snapchat, all of us... There's no, because of what this means behind the scenes, you don't really have to have a story behind it, but what this really means behind the scenes is more important and more intricate to most of us, and I'll speak for myself, more important for me for sure, than any other rivalry that exists in wrestling right now. And because of that, at some point, maybe not at WrestleMania 30, but at some point, this match deserves to happen at WrestleMania. Anyways, guys, there's my top 5 guys to win the Rumble and the fantasy stories surrounding them. Hope you liked it. This has been Road Signs. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all my conversations going. Make a response video. Who's your top 5 and how would you fantasy book them? Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.
Like me.